Hi, everybody. Another day. Hopefully, we are going to brain train today. Now more than ever, it's so important to keep our mind strong. I'm just still, all of us are still like trying to figure out like how and what is going on in the world. But we have said over and over again, if it's happening, it's meant to be, it's from Hashem, it's Mina Shamayim, it's all for a reason, and we can't wrap our head around it. But we have to say, is this thought that's coming into my head serving me or not? Is a thought that's like bombarding you, like, kind of running wild in your head, taking over? Kind of like hijacking your mind? Or are you going to do something about it and not let it take over? You have to ask yourself, is this thought serving me or am I serving it? Am I becoming enslaved by this thought? I was just actually watching a video that I once posted when I was in, at the Ohel, and where the Rebbe was saying, wow, even 1 minute of a day missing makes your day not complete. Like if you didn't do fully what you could have done that day in that 1 minute. Can you imagine? So these thoughts sometimes can really take over, and even that 1 minute is like more than enough minutes that it should have been bossing us around. So we learned that the brain has like 90 seconds to 2 minutes to manage the thought, to manage even the brain chemicals that are kind of percolating and kind of being created by giving in to those negative thoughts. Science shows that if in that 90 to 2 minute time period that you can try to master it, instead of it mastering you, you have an easy way to get out of that mindset, to get out of that moment in time when it's trying to control you and trying to take over your thoughts. After those 2 minutes, if you linger and obsess over it and don't take action to get out of that, what I call hoodlum thought. And for those of you who don't know what a hoodlum is, like any kind of person that's trying to take over, a kingdom. And it's like the enemy that wants to just, take control over the kingdom. So the Yetzer Hara is that enemy that wants to control our mindsets that will end us controlling our mood after that. Because we always say thoughts create emotions. So if we let those thoughts continue to linger, then we just let them, meaning the Yetzer Hara, have full power. And we don't want that. Especially as science is teaching us that those moments from 90 seconds to 2 minutes is the easiest time to escape. If we keep letting it control us and we keep ruminating and obsessively thinking those thoughts again and again and again, then it's harder to get out of. So today I thought I would discuss some tips of how to get out of that negative loop. How to, it's just like, it's going on again and again. And you're just like, whoop, want to get out of that loop that's happening in your mind. So one thing that's very helpful is deep breathing. And most people know that. But they may not realize why. The deep breathing helps oxygen get to the brain. The deep breathing helps us connect to more of our unconscious mind, so that we can do something about those thoughts that are trying to take over. The other thing is to get out of your head. Yeah. Cause you got to do something to not linger in your head. So for a second, you can be mindful of your body, maybe a sensation. we've discussed this before. Usually sometimes people, when they're about to get really mad, their body gets really hot, or their nose flares, or their stomach gets tight. Any which way you can get your mind out of your head by paying attention to something else will break the cycle. And as one time I was hearing a rabbi say, breaking a cycle is Mashiach. Like, you normally acted this, and that. You nipped it in the bud. You broke the cycle. At that moment, that's a Mashiach moment. That's a Geula moment. That's like a freedom, like being free, like, and having such a freedom from that kind of captivity. So another idea is that you can pay attention to, let's say, the other person. Let's say you're in a situation and they're triggering you. So instead of like thinking about yourself and what they're saying is bothering you, you could think about them. Yeah, pray for them. Have a moment. Get out of your head in what's going on at that moment of your feeling like that they are not treating you as nicely as you want, and you're feeling triggered. So stop that cycle and just pray for them. Pray for them that they should become, so that they'll be realigned with their true self, that the Yetzer Hara will just, not be as strong in the moment. Pray for them. Visualize that they're calming down. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of power in our mind to help others. But this will help you break the cycle of that 2 minutes where, it's not all or nothing, but it's almost all or nothing, because if you can grab the situation and seize the moment and switch tracks, then you can escape from its hold on you that will take even harder to get out of. So other things that you can do is, do an activity, like whether it's in your brain or or just like, let's say some situation happened, you're really hurt by the other person, so do something that you really like doing. Some people like needlework, some people like painting, some people like, but whatever it is that you like, try to do it. And if you can't think of anything, the best sure thing to do, though, is, we mentioned, pray for the other, but you can go learn something. Just get your mind off of it as quickly as possible and do whatever it takes to get out of that loop. You see, because it could really save you from a lot of emotion and heartache, and then having, it linger with you like for more and more of the day. So we're taught that we can prime our brain. It's like getting the brain ready, to undo the, experience that you're going through. And we can help the brain habituate toward the positive that we want. So one thing you could do is just recreate history. Something just happened. It was really like annoying. It was really maybe hurtful. Maybe you're feeling anxious because of it. Maybe now you have a fear of what's going to be after because of the way they behave toward you. And here, instead of lingering on just what happened, just kind of go make a mind movie of the way you would have liked it to happen, the way you would have liked it to be different, and see them. Same situation, but the way you would have liked it. Now, on the one hand, it's very powerful because it's like, think good and it will be good, right? Because we can have the power to create more goodness in the world by the way we think. 2, it's good for you because you're getting out of that loop of what just happened. Remember, sometimes when a very challenging moment comes your way, your brain can like have like this onslaught of pressure that it kind of can really make you kind of not be able to focus. It could maybe create a situation where it's like you can't even stop crying maybe, and it's just like almost like forced on you because of what just happened to you. So these tactics will help you stop it from continuing to take over. And that is what we can do in those moments after the fact. Now, of course, the more you do this, not after the fact, but before the fact, the greater chances of that success. Because, for instance, if you learn how to pour, from 1 cup to like a very, very thin cup, and you learn all the tactics of how to do that smoothly so none of it spills all over the place, then like you might have just a few drops to clean. And because you practice and you practice. But imagine like the first time and you didn't practice, and not only did you not know how to fill up the cup, in this special unique way with, let's say, a droplet or a straw, whatever, and then like, oh my gosh, there's such a mess. And now you have to really spend time more cleaning up. So taking the time beforehand, will help you. Now, there's a teaching actually in Tanya, and I actually... I see this applies to here. There was a boy, and he was asked from this traveler, oh, like, how do I get to the village? So the boy asked, do you want the short way? That's the long way? Or do you want the long way that's the short way? The man wasn't really paying attention. Of course he wants a short way. What the question? Like, And so the boy's like watching him, and after he directed him how to get there, and the man goes the short way, but then he realizes there's a lake in between, and like he goes back and he says, why did you give me this way? And he says, remember I asked you, do you want the short way but the long way, or the long way but it's really the short way? So the longer way is actually the shorter way because you get there. Because the shorter way, you got there, but you can really get to the village. So you had to come back and then go the long way, and it became a really long way. So sometimes it's like, it seems like, I don't want to train my brain. I don't want to spend time making my brain strong. I don't want to connect to do these things. Like, and you're such a young age. And, I want to play. Who cares? I have more fun here. And then after, you're like so upset and so sad, and then you're trying to get out of it, and it's hard to get out of it. And so now it takes longer for you to get out of it because you didn't take the long way of doing these things that ends up giving you a shortcut down the road to really get out of bad moods and allowing all the things around you to affect you in a negative way. So that you can be the king over your city, the king over your mind, the king over your heart, the king over the way you behave, the king over the way you speak. I was just learning in we just had the Haftorah of Shavuot, and it actually was talking about like the vision of Yechezkel, and the lightning and when I was reading it, it actually explained that chashmal, like, because when you see a lightning, it's like electrifying, right? And so it like is a symbol of how we should speak. Okay, so like, yeah, let's speak in an electrifying way. Like when we bring light to the world, we use our words in such an amazing way, like into a lightning. So chash mal has the root word of chash, which is shh. like silence, quiet. And mal comes from the word milah, word. So that really, in order for our word to be bright and light and create such an electrifying positivity in the world, we need to, right? Shh. First be quiet, be silent, think it through. They said something. How am I going to respond? I'm going to get them to be my slave? Meaning, I'm going to be a slave to them? And I'm going to end up like behaving like them? Or am I going to think before I speak and then say the word that will help me get out of the situation? So, and it's interesting. And then I was learning that if you look at the creation of the world, Adam comes from the word dam, which is silence, domem. Like, it's like inanimate. It doesn't, right? And the word dam also means silence. Chava comes from the word lechaveh, which is to express. So again, first comes being silent, and then you can speak. But if you're letting all these thoughts come in, like, how dare they? I can't believe it. They're so annoying. Then these thoughts are going to make you speak in a certain way. So the more we practice to prime our brain, to train our brain to make the situation like it normally is, but in this mind movie, you're actually being the way you want to be. And that's what we've been doing here for how many weeks since the pandemic started. So that's a key understanding of how to not let the thoughts enslave you, and instead you be master over the thoughts. Now, because when you end up giving into this negative speech, first of all, we've studied this before, you're causing them to hear that, let's say, attitude and negative tone, and even if you raise your voice and if you're saying something like, after that you feel so bad and guilty, and then you can't live in your own skin, and that's a whole nother topic. But when you give into that word, there's chemicals getting like ignited in them. So like if they were upset, now they're gonna get more upset because they heard those even more upsetting words. And then you're gonna get more upset because you're gonna see they're gonna be escalating their anger or their behavior. And it's just like this vicious cycle. And when you see that you said that negative word, by the way, that then affects the inside too. Not only the brain chemicals that are now like depleted and diminishing, and so the sadness again can more easily dominate you, or the anxiousness, as yesterday we were talking about. So it's just, we got to nip it in the bud, as they say. We got to have the control as best we can by doing this type of brain training, so that within that 90 seconds to 2 minutes, we break the cycle. And because, when we give in to this and not make the effort in this way, our brain will take us to guilt trips. I always tell people, don't take a guilt trip. Take a trip to the park. Take a trip to, good places. Not let your mind take you to places where you're then after the fact, feel like such a heartache from having behaved in a way that you didn't want to. So I hope these tips find you well, and I pray that that you get in a habit of having certain sentences ready, handy for you to also get out of that loop. So you could say, everything is in the hands of Hashem. remember, like yesterday, or Hashem is with me, or this too will pass, and this too is for the good. I mean, in Hebrew it's like Gamzu Latova, or Akol Midei Shamayim, anything that like you like to, you know, or a song, you know, there's a song, Hashem is here, Hashem is there, Hashem is everywhere, or Hashem Malach, Hashem Yimloch. There's so many amazing fun songs that you can use that as a mantra. You could use that as like a way to break the cycle of that thought that's like causing you to feel not good. Or you could put on the music itself. Oh my gosh, that would be awesome. And just break out of that cycle. So you find things that work for you. Some people, like, they think, I don't know, it's hard for me. Like, some people say, turn off that music, it's giving me a headache. And I'm like, what? I love music. But for that person, it gives them a headache for whatever reason. And I'm not talking like, you know, heavy duty banging type of music, whatever. Each to their own. Remember we were saying some people have poor sensory integration. They were born more sensitive, and they anything that they hear can like really annoy them. So, but some people like drawing, so they can go draw. Or some people like journaling. Whatever it is, find something at that moment that you can get out of that cycle. And you can look at your watch. I have 90 seconds. Okay, 1 minute and a half. Almost. I'm just you get my point. All right. So today we're going to try to be like a chashmal and be a light, like a lightning, electrifying, using our words in a good way, stopping ourselves from making the situation worse by being, you know, as we know, like when we give in to someone who's angry and you know, like follow their energy and let the Yetzer Hara take over, it just really is putting a stumbling block before them. And it's just going to make things escalate and get more tricky. All right. So, any questions, any ideas that are helpful for you that you like to do to get yourself out of that cycle? Definitely post here, and I will share it with the world here. And because after these classes do go on YouTube, and it could be very helpful to others. I find for myself, there's nothing like prayer and learning. You know, because it just really gets your mind off of things, and it's just so, like, I was just telling my friend the other day, like, I love every day of my life. I love everything that I do. You know, I love sharing. I love counseling. I love exercising. You know, like I love my days the way it is. But I especially love, there's something unique and special when you have that like downtime where the phones aren't ringing and, you know, you don't have all the to-do list of the to-do list on like a Shabbat. And then when we have a holiday and it's like 2 days back to back, it's like you have like this amazing cocoon of time to learn Torah. And, you know, extend your prayers, because usually you do extra prayers that day and extra Tehillim that day. But I'm saying, like, there's something so amazing about learning Torah that it's like and I've studied why. It just really brings joy. It just brings an understanding about things that just helps you live within yourself and within the world. So I really invite you to do that when things are getting sticky. Okay, so we're going to the second part of our class today, and that is the arts and craft part. By the way, I was just talking to Nechama Labor before coming to this class, and we're going to do some drama classes at her retreat, online retreat for children. So, and then we were talking about we should do like a online retreat for women. So I'll keep you posted. We're working on some ideas here so that it's gonna be just like that cocoon away, and like just to reestablish ourselves in a, you know, like we need to, like right now, especially with what's been going on. Anyway, so the idea is, what better yet? You could do like a watch, and you could see on top 90 seconds to 2 minutes. You have that much time, like a race. You know, like, yeah, you've ever been to those picnics and they have like, you have to do something in a matter of time, and then it's over. Okay, it's not over, but it's like gonna be harder. So see, let's say a picture of yourself like in a kind of a competition with the watch or a big clock on the wall, 90 to 2 minutes. That's how much time you have to like try to get you to break the cycle, to move your head away from what you're thinking about. So it'll be easier for you to check out, so that that thought will not enslave you, and that you will choose the thoughts that are going to serve you, that are going to be beneficial to you. So maybe write on top certain sentences that you like Hashem Melech, Hashem Malach, Hashem Yimloch L'olam. But He is the King, and He's doing everything. Or this too will pass, or whatever like sentence you can write on that picture. Or you can make a picture like lightning, and you could separate it. The first part of the, you know, and then the last part, and in between you can have a line chash, and then have like a picture of lips with a shh, and then mal. You can write the word milah. Think before you speak. Think, as this pasuk says, in silence righteousness do speak. You need to be silent in order to be able to speak righteously. If your heart is like this and you speak, the likelihood you're going to say things according to what your heart is feeling. Not good. Heart. Feeling hurt is ego. Heart. Feeling hurt is Yetzirah. Like now going to take over and like say the things it wants to say. Like, payback time. No. Chash, mal. In silence, you'll be able to speak more righteously. So, and then see, like, there's just like this light. You can make like all this light, sparks of light, because you're saying like the words in righteousness. You can do a picture of Adam and Chava to remind you. Because, you know, we want to learn from the deep teachings of the Torah. What does it mean for us today? So you can make a picture of Adam with the word dam, silence, and then Chava, to express. And it's interesting, when I was looking at the word, Chava has like the hay in it, right? And Adam has the Aleph. And Aleph represents Alufa Shel Olam, and the hay represents Hashem. Right? So I was thinking, like, we got to put Hashem as our partner when we're about to speak. Like, would He be happy that we're saying this? Are we going to be like a light? Or God forbid, the opposite? So you can make a picture of Adam and Chava, and with the letters, remember the Aleph, Dam, Chava, Hey. So it's interesting. I don't know. This is just my thing. When I saw the Hey at the end of the letter of Chava, I was thinking, like, first, Aleph, think of Hashem, and like be silent. Think like, what would He want to say? And as you're expressing it, make sure that Hashem is with you to the end. Is that cool? Like, because sometimes you can start with And I know we're all working on this. Okay, I'm gonna laugh, but like, it's a problem sometimes. Some people, like, they want to apologize and they'll say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. Like, can you? And then you'll say, but, and you're trying to explain away why you did a certain thing the way you did, but the other person doesn't want to hear it. It's like as if you're taking away from the apology. And as if, like, then they're going to say something and say, I don't want to hear your excuses. And then boom, you get like really upset. And you're like, what? I want to explain. Like, it's my, right to explain. And then you get hurt or something. And then all of a sudden, now you're hurt. And then you say, well, you never let me hear. And then there's an argument. It started with an olive. You wanted to say, I'm sorry. But it ended up like not in a good way. Right? So when you think about like your relationships, especially when you're dealing with your family, you want to say, you want to make sure the Aleph is in the beginning, Hashem, and He's there with you to the end, and not get like strayed because of the thought that just now crept in. Like, how dare they not want to hear my excuse? I want to explain. But it's just like, it hurts their feelings to hear that you're giving an excuse why. It takes away from the beauty for whatever reason. For me, if someone explains, I like that. Because I like, oh, it's because, you didn't get enough sleep, or, you were extra tired, or you were really hungry, you were famished, you were hyperglycemic. Now, for me, I like that. But for someone else, maybe not. And so you got to know who you're talking to, what works, what they would like. And not only about how you want to or what you think is the right. Like I always say, like, give someone strawberries. You love strawberries, but they're kind of allergic to it. It makes their tongue have like an allergic reaction, and they might have this sourness all over their gums, and it's just like, some people have that with kiwi. But you like strawberries, and like you're gonna give them strawberries, but they don't like strawberries. Like, well, do you want to give them what they like or not? So we have to like try to think it in that term when we're going to be a lightning with our chashmal, with our light of our soul, so they'll receive it. Okay, so now those are some ideas. Let's now do my movie part of this moment of our being together here. And I'm thinking, I'm really thinking of Adam and Chava. Like, the story of Adam and Chava? Maybe I should say a little something before we do this my movie. Adam was alone, and Hashem said it's not good to be alone, so he actually created Chava. Chava comes into the world, but Adam is kind of like not in a good mood. He feels like a nobody. Yeah. And he's like kind of broken inside. He's just like feeling low self-esteem. He feels like he doesn't want to be with people because he's just like in that mood. Chava actually, and she takes it personally that he's not paying attention to her. And Kli Yakar actually explains that because he was so in his own world, as it were, and he didn't really explain to Chava the law of the tree, then like she was confused. And therefore what happened was she started feeling bad. So she's like, maybe this apple is going to make me feel happy. Maybe if I have candy, if I have ice cream, I don't know. It's just I don't feel, at least something else will make me happy. Because she was feeling like really down, that she was ignored, and that she wasn't seemingly like felt loved. So it's like, Adam and Chava. It started all the way from back then. These challenges in relationships. Everyone's trying to, cope with themselves. Everyone's trying to manage feeling good about themselves. And when they don't, then they can become distant. They can be not so nice because they're cold. They're in their own world. They close the door. They don't speak as much. They're hiding because they don't feel good about themselves. And then the other person takes it personally. It really hurts them. And then they become really entrapped by the other person's negative mood. And then they become moody. And then it can spill over to a different sister, a different brother, a different relative. Whatever, you can learn a lesson from this. Yeah. So when we break that cycle and say, I'm not going to give in to their mood, I'm not going to take personally what's going on with them, I'm going to still be nice. I'm still going to be able to rise above and handle the situation and be the leader and be the lamplighter and be the person that you are meant to be, even if the other person is having their moody day. And some have moody days. Let's break the cycle. Let's not get in those moody days. Let's, in those 2 minutes, work on getting out of it and going with our Yetzer Tov and being the boss over our day, being the boss over our mouth and all of our behaviors. Let our neshama be the king over everything. Okay, so here's the vision. We can just close our eyes, relax our body. Because as we relax every part of our body, our mind becomes more relaxed. And as our mind becomes more relaxed, we have more of an ability to help it develop, help it have greater strength to really practice and actualize the knowledge that we have gained here. So I always like to go to a beautiful place because that helps the body. When you have that image of an amazing, beautiful place. I don't know if you could see here today. I decided to, right before the meditation, just to see this beautiful view. And actually on the other side, I don't know if you noticed, it just looks like Kever Rachel to me. I don't know if you see it. Anyway. So just see a place that you like to be, some beautiful image, and you're gonna go take a trip there. And every step closer to the place, you just feel more and more relaxed. You feel more and more at peace. Wow, because of what I learned here today, I'm better for this. I'm definitely getting closer to knowing how to save the day, how to save the moments. And in this place, there's a huge sign that says only positivity allowed. And so you enter, and it's as if every stress and everything that's bothersome, everything, just melts away, just drops right there as you enter that gate. And in this beautiful place, you could see just the amazing colors and sense the sensation of all that is around you. It's really helping your mind and your neshama just feel free from all that's going on in the world. You can close your eyes if you want. You can drift away in this place. And you remind yourself, wow, I really want to get in a habit. I really want to train my brain to see if the thought that I'm thinking is serving me or not. I really want to be more aware and to catch the moments so that I don't let these thoughts bombard me and take over. So as you're walking along this place and you are by the gate of this place, you see all kinds of thoughts trying to get into this place, and you're just like, the gate is locked for those negative thoughts. No, no, no. And you're just like smiling as you see the thoughts trying to come in, but they're not capable. They are blocked. They are barred. They are not welcome, these negative thoughts. And so you roam around in this place so free, thinking all of the most positive thoughts. En od milvado. Hashem melech, Hashem malach, Hashem yimloch le'olam va'ed. All the types of thoughts. And you're priming your brain right now to like keep these thoughts totally at the tip of your fingers, almost like really at the front part of your brain, almost like a desktop computer that you can access right there, right then and there when you need it. And so you keep thinking, these are the thoughts that are going to serve me. These are the thoughts that are going to help me out when I need them. These are my allies. These are my partners. And all of a sudden, you feel ready. And as you walk out of this place, it's like you have a sheath, like almost like a shield of armor all around you. And you're walking out, and there's those bad thoughts, and they're just like bouncing off of that armor. It's just like not touching you, not entering you. It's just like it's a shield. It's constantly like protecting you. And what's roaming in your mind are the positive thoughts. And you're safe, and you're guarded, like as if you have 10 guards all around you with 10 shields from every angle. And every step you feel stronger and stronger because you feel protected. You feel like, wow, I'm not going to be enslaved by these thoughts. I'm going to catch them, get rid of them, and not let them enter. So you're walking back into your home, and there you are. A situation. Maybe someone's bombarding you with 100 zillion questions. Maybe not trusting you. Maybe you're saying the truth and they're saying, no, that's not true. No, not, you're lying, or whatever. Sometimes these people, like, well, whether you're, and you're like kind of shocked, but then you just remember, you just primed your brain. You just trained your brain. There's a shield around you, and it's bouncing off of you. And you're strong. You're like a chashmal. You're like really, being silent and thinking like, should I open my mouth or not? Am I going to be a stumbling block before them? Am I going to make things worse? And you're handling it. You look like a lightning bolt, like of strength. And you just hear them, and you just don't let them make you change your mood. You're in the great mood that you were at this beautiful place. You're handling it. Maybe you're again thinking of another thought, like this too will pass. Everything is from Hashem. Everything is good. You're like thinking these thoughts as you're kind of hearing what they're saying in one ear, but you're hearing these other sentences in the other. So you're handling it, and it passes over, and you walk away, and it's like nothing. And you're happy. You're not in a bad mood. You're like managing. It's okay. They had their Yetzirah moment, or they had their whatever moment. It's okay. I'm fine. You feel so strong. You feel like a gibor or a giboris, like someone who's really strong. because you were able to handle the situation. And you were able to be the king over your city. Wow. So then you start to feel your feet as you walk away. You're just feeling strong. And you're so glad your feet are leading the way. Leading the way quickly out of the scene so it just doesn't escalate. Your heart calmly beating because like you had a victory moment. And it feels really, really good to not be enslaved and not be entrenched and to have gone out of that loop. And you're smiling because it really feels good. It feels like the sweetness of victory. But the victory of kingship. The victory of being a leader. The victory of really stopping the cycle. All right. You open your eyes and you're like, wow, thank you, Hashem. Maybe say a little prayer like, please help this image really like be ingrained in my brain. Help me prime this. Help me like be okay with the long way that's going to be the short way. Help me. I know you, Hashem, want to help me. And I'm counting on you to help me. Blessings for an amazing, beautiful day. Keep safe. I'm thinking of all of you all around the world. My prayers to you. Let's catch the moment. And always keep shining by smiling. Wow. Good to see you all here. Bye-bye. Do you have any questions before I take off? Bezrat Hashem, we'll hear good news. Very soon, we're going to celebrate. That's it. Time to celebrate already. Enough is enough. Just celebrate soon. Like now. Bye-bye.